All right, I believe we are live here. Looks like my microphone is going off. If for some reason the audio is messed up, please let me know in the chat, and I will remedy that. But yeah, welcome back, everybody. It's part 3 of the beginner's night tonight, and I'm going to be covering actually making a withdrawal from an exchange and moving it into your hardware wallet, making a transfer. That's pretty much it for tonight. That's kind of like the last bit that I didn't get to show everybody. We ended part 2. Let's see, what did we cover in part 2? We covered setting up the ledger, actually setting up the ledger, setting up Ledger Live, installing all the accounts, updating the firmware, whatnot, making sure our hardware wallet was ready to go. And then I also showed you how to make create a Kraken account over at kraken.com, which is a fiat to cryptocurrency exchange. Hey, David, good to see you. So yeah, so really the kind of the last step in the process is to make a transfer from the exchange over to our hardware wallet. Now, obviously, you know, actually purchasing the cryptocurrency is in there somewhere, happens prior to that. And so I'm going to actually show you how to make a trade on Coinbase Pro with a little bit of money that I've got over there, and then we'll transfer it out. So we'll actually make a trade, and then we'll move it into our hardware wallet, and that's going to complete Beginner's Night Part 3 and kind of the Beginner's Night series. So yeah, that's before we hop into it, though. I do want to take a second and address the market today, because that was a pretty interesting event that happened. And if you all are subscribed to my newsletter, you can do it. Just go to the denvercryptogroup.com website and go to the news tab there, and you can subscribe to it. I shared my thoughts there, you know, what I thought about this market correction, and that was actually before this morning, and that big down spike. But I still feel the same, and basically, you know, the market's pretty overheated right now. A lot of people got in around 10,000, 15,000, and even, you know, some more once we made a new all-time high around 20,000. Talking about the Bitcoin price here, so a lot of people got in around those price points, and so, you know, when it goes up to $60,000, you know, you're seeing your money 6x itself or 3x itself, depending on where you got in there. And that's a really, you know, compared to most other investments that you can make, that's a really great return on your money in like a 6-month, you know, 12-month period. You know, 300, 600%, that's pretty good. So, you know, when that happens, people are, you know, they've got all this money they didn't have before, but they haven't realized it, right? They're still sitting in the Bitcoin because they think the price is going to keep going up. But psychologically, they're pretty primed, and I'm speaking from experience here, been through a few of these bull and bear market cycles and corrections and whatnot. People are very primed to lock in that profit, right? If you know, my Bitcoin's at 60 and I think it's coming down, you know, I'm going to sell that and lock in that profit that I've made, because I've just really can't believe what's happened. And so at any kind of, you know, basically it primes the market to want to react to any kind of, you know, negative news. It doesn't take a whole lot to get it going. And once one person starts, you know, somebody else sees them selling, and they're, shoot, I got to sell too. And, you know, before long, we've got billions of dollars in liquidations on everybody that's leveraged, you know, over leveraged long on Bitcoin. And so we see these big corrections. So, you know, I'm still very bullish on cryptocurrency and Bitcoin for the year 2021. I think we needed to have this correction. Markets, you know, they don't just go straight up forever. They go up and then they correct, and then they go higher and then they correct, or they go lower. But, you know, the pattern for Bitcoin has been just kind of this upwards trend over basically ever since it was invented. And I still very much believe in the fundamental value and utility of having a decentralized, permissionless, global digital currency. that, you know, is not controlled by any single entity, and no one is barred from using as long as they've got an internet connection and a smartphone. So that's why I joined the space and why I'm doing what I do. None of that has really changed. The price has changed, but I think what we're seeing is a lot of you know, just newer entrants into the space. They made a lot of money, and easy come, easy go. And when you're that much in profit, you're ready to lock that profit in. Elon sends a tweet. China talks about restricting Bitcoin. Oh my gosh, that's it. I got to sell and make sure, you know, I lock in this profit, which makes rational sense. But you know, once you ride a few of these dips out, you realize that that's just sort of the cycles we go through, and you know, you're a bit more you know, you've seen it. You're not as easily panicked. So you know, I just wanted to say that, especially for the newer people here in the space, these corrections, they happen. You know, we may be in a downtrend for another month, or you know, the rest of the year. There's really no way to know. But I think eventually it will come back, and you know, I'm not selling anything. I actually bought a little bit more this morning at the bottom of there. So yeah, I don't know. Just if you have any other questions, pop them in the chat there. I'll do my best to address them. But that's kind of how I feel about the bloodbath that everybody's talking about occurring today. So with that being said, let's hop into the actual reason everybody's here. And let's show a purchase of some Litecoin and then the transfer of that Litecoin into my Ledger hardware wallet. So I'm going to share my screen here. Do I have it pulled up? I do. That's good. Alrighty. So this is Coinbase Pro. This is the website for it, pro.coinbase.com. I use this because it's a little bit lower fees than regular Coinbase. Regular Coinbase, though, is a little easier to use. If you're, you know, if this looks a little intimidating, just use regular Coinbase. They got a big blue button. It's pretty easy, and pay a little more in the fees, but for the ease of use, it's often worth it. And yeah, these markets are really running. I can see over here on the right-hand side, these are the most recent trades. And then I can see on the left here, here's the spread and on the order book, and it's moving. Usually you can actually read these numbers, but everything's moving pretty quick here today. So I got about 38 bucks in here, US dollars. I would like to buy some Litecoin. So I'll just fill out this little order form here. I can make a market order to just buy it at whatever the current price is. I'll, you know, pick up one of these orders here. Or, you know, if I wanted to, right now the current price is 180.5 to 180. You know, I could put in an amount of Litecoin that I want to purchase. And then I could put in a price, you know, okay, I'm willing to pay up to 181 bucks on that. And actually we'll do 2 there. You know, and I could do a limit order that way. And basically this is the price. Up to this price, I'm willing to buy it. Generally they're used like when they're lower than the price. So like if you think Litecoin is going to crash, you put a limit order in at maybe like 150. And so if the price comes down, you know, to 150, basically this will automatically execute. I'll pick up my Litecoin at $150, but it's got to come down almost $30 from where it's at now. If I just want to buy it at the current price, which is what I'm going to do tonight, I'm not trying to time the Litecoin USD market. I'm just going to make a market purchase. I'll go with the maximum. I mean, honestly, I don't even need to do that. Not a huge fan of Litecoin. So, you know, I'm just going to buy $15 worth, and that'll get me 0.083 something Litecoin. Market, buy, boom, there we go. And there we can see it's filled. And if I go over to my portfolios, you can actually see, you know, you'll be able to see it. So now that I actually own this Litecoin, I can make a withdrawal of it. And to do that, I need to know where I'm withdrawing it to. And so to do that, I've got to come back over here to Ledger Live, and let me switch this screen share real quick. come back over here to Ledger Live, and I'm going to come here to receive on the left-hand side, and I'm going to choose my my Litecoin here. Where the heck is it? There it is. Here's my Litecoin. Hit continue, and now I've got to pull up my Ledger Live wallet. I've plugged it into the computer. It turned itself on. I'm sorry, this is my Ledger Nano wallet. Now I need to enter in my PIN code. I'll do that. All right, and there we go. And now it's asking me to open the Litecoin app on my device. I will do that. Hit both buttons. I don't know if you're able to hear that or not, but and now it's thinking. And there we go. This is my address for the demo Litecoin. It gives me this LTC address. I can click on this little button here on the right. It will copy the address. And now any Litecoin I send to this address is going to be sent to the address that's generated by my Ledger hardware wallet. And so the access to that Litecoin is going to reside on this Ledger hardware wallet, where it's much, much safer than on the exchange. I think today was a good lesson in why you want to self-custody your funds, because I think Binance was down, Kraken might have been down, a lot of the exchanges were down. And so if you were wanting to offload some crypto or buy some more, as I did earlier, and you wanted to send some money into those accounts, if you don't have, if I wasn't sitting on some USDT or USDC stablecoin in my own wallet, it would have been stuck. It could have potentially been stuck on Binance or whatever exchange wasn't working. I can't even log in because everybody's panicking and trying to sell. So I effectively don't have access to those funds. Fortunately, I had the stablecoin on my hardware wallet. I was able to go and try and log into a bunch of different exchanges. Finally, I got one that worked, and then I made my deposit there. I was able to purchase some more Bitcoin and then immediately withdraw that back to my hardware wallet. So, I was able to kind of get around the craziness that was happening. I had to pay some significant transaction fees to do so, but it's better than just not having access to my funds. I'd rather have access to them and have to pay a little bit more for it, or a lot more for it, than just not be able to do anything, watching everything tank. That's never a good feeling. So anyway, that's one of my cases for why you should always put something on your hardware wallet, or at least get it off the exchange and into a wallet where you control the private keys. Bitcoin Zay says it pretty good. Not your keys, not your cheese. So I like that. I like that line. So I'm gonna snag that from him. But anyway, let's go back over to Coinbase here, and we're going to make a withdrawal. I've already copied that address, so now I can just start the withdrawal process here. So we're going to go to Litecoin, and we're going to withdraw it to a crypto address. I don't want to send it to coinbase.com, although I could do that for free and instantly. I would like to withdraw it to a crypto address, so I'm going to just paste in this address that I copied. I'm going to use it. Tells me that's a valid LTC address. That's pretty good. And then it gives me the first bit and the last bit of this. So it looks like LTC and then 1QPH. And then at the end, it says E7F8. I'm going to just, because it's good practice to get into. I'm going to come back here and just confirm this address, LTC 1QPH. Yep. E7F8. Perfect. All right, so I know that the same address my Ledger gave me is the one that I'm withdrawing to. And so for that reason, I can feel pretty confident in sending the maximum amount of Litecoin that I have, which is apparently only 0.018. Please review your deposits. So I guess, well, that's interesting. I guess I must have, oh, okay, that's great. So I don't have enough, there we go, that's better. I can withdraw this tiny bit here. I guess my deposit has not cleared. I can withdraw my $3.19 worth of Litecoin. So yeah, okay, so there we go. Default portfolio, send it to this Litecoin address, maximum amount, because I confirmed this address. We'll do withdrawal. And then here I get this address again. Yep, that looks good. And now I got to put in the two-factor authentication from my Google Authenticator. So let's see here. Where we go? Coinbase. There's Coinbase. All right, and let's withdraw it. And that's it. I've withdrawn the Litecoin now. It might take a little bit for it to show up, but that's really going to be it in terms of like making the withdrawal. So now I can come back to my ledger live, and I'm just going to sit and wait and hang out. In the meantime, on the actual device, I can approve this address. I don't know why Ledger makes you do this. It's kind of doesn't make a whole lot of sense, because this address I can send Litecoin to it, whether or not I approve it on the device. So I don't know exactly why they ask you to do that, but you actually have to approve it to get off of that screen. You'll be stuck on that screen with your address until you approve it on the actual device. So there we go. I'm done. And now let's see here. I can go to my Litecoin account, and oh wow, it's already in there. Okay, well that was pretty quick. That was actually very quick. So the Litecoin is already in there. I got the privacy mode on because I don't want to show my account balances to everybody, but yeah, that's cool. That's pretty quick. I'm gonna get the current price of Litecoin here, and yeah, that's the withdrawal and the transfer into the cold storage. And that's pretty much it for Beginner's Night Part 3. I just barely didn't have enough time to wrap it up the last time we were doing it. So this one's probably going to be quite a bit shorter. But yeah, I mean, honestly, if you guys have any questions and you're in the chat there, fire away. I mean, related to Beginner's Night stuff or not, whatever, I'm going to hang out for another 5 or 10 minutes unless we don't get any questions. And this will be a bit of an early evening tonight. But yeah, if you guys are wondering about anything, pop it in the chat there. I'll do my best to answer it. Really anything at all, just pick my brain. And if we don't get any questions, then we'll wrap it up here and let everybody get on with their evening. I'm surprised we got some people out tonight. I thought everybody would have been maybe scared off by this big market correction. So props to those of you that are here. I commend you. I commend you. Give it a couple seconds here, see if anybody wants to ask anything. Definitely a slower day. Dan Downs, was there a $3 transfer fee? No, actually, the transfer fee was less than that. I picked Litecoin because it's pretty cheap. I actually only withdrew $3 worth because that was all Coinbase would let me. And the transfer fee for at least on Coinbase and most other exchanges, not every single one, but most other exchanges will be determined by the cost that the cost to transfer it on that particular blockchain network will be generally passed on to you making the withdrawal. So like for Ethereum, it would have been way, way, way higher. Litecoin is just a cheap and quick one. So I think it was like under $1. It was or less than that. It might have been even under 10 cents, probably 5 cents, something like that. But yeah, I only withdrew about $3 worth. If I was trying to do Ethereum or Bitcoin, that would be a significantly higher amount of withdrawal fee. I wouldn't be able to withdraw $3. I don't think they wouldn't let me because it's more than the withdrawal fee. David Herbert, how much can you save in fees with Coinbase Pro as opposed to Coinbase? That is a great question. I believe they changed their fees when they went public. Let me let me look here. What are the fees on Coinbase Pro? And then let's see here. So right now, so for Coinbase, most of it, if you're trading under 10K, it's 0.5% on Coinbase Pro. If you are, and this is on Coinbase Pro, so 0.5%. If you're trading more money, then it's going to be less, actually, less than that. For Coinbase itself, the fees I think are like 3% or 4, or it's like 1.5% for bank accounts, and then like 4% for debit or credit cards. Your deposits are free, so like moving it, like an ACH transfer, if you're moving it in from there, that's free. But when you actually go to purchase the cryptocurrency, you're going to get hit with that. Like, I think it's almost 4% at this point. It's fairly significant. So you got 0.5% on Coinbase Pro, and you got almost 4%, I think, on regular Coinbase. Mark, what are your thoughts on BlockFi? Also, a big crash is a good time to buy. Yeah, absolutely. When there's the fairly common saying, when there's blood in the water, it's when you want to buy, or, you know, be greedy when other people are fearful, and be fearful when other people are greedy. Right now, there's a lot of fear going on in the market, and you know, it's I don't know about being greedy, but it's a good time to kind of run counter to what the crowd's doing. If you truly believe in this stuff long term, I should preface it with that. And also, don't ever put anything in that you're not willing to lose. And I should throw the disclaimer out there: I'm not a registered or licensed financial advisor. I'm not providing any financial advice. This is all just for entertainment and to help the community out. But yeah, that's the difference for the fees. What are my thoughts on BlockFi? I think it was BlockFi, was like people were getting like referral bonuses or whatever, and they're supposed to get like $5 or like $30 or something, and they were actually sending people 5 Bitcoin instead of like $5. Like somehow in their system it got messed up, and so people were getting like all of this Bitcoin, and I don't know that they were actually able to withdraw it, but it was like kind of a big screw up on BlockFi, where people were actually getting like tens of thousands of dollars in Bitcoin when they really should supposed to only be getting like a few dollars, a few fiat dollars, which I thought was pretty hilarious. But also at the same time, it's like, you guys are custodying millions of dollars of other people's funds, and you're running this whole platform that's a pretty big honeypot for like a hacker or something. You guys messed up like this very simple thing of giving people referral bonuses. That makes me a little cautious about what's actually going on behind the scenes that we can't see. Like how robust is their cybersecurity measures that they're taking? How seriously are they taking your privacy and handling your data and making sure everything's secure and there's no way for anybody to get in? I mean, they may have a really, really robust cybersecurity plan that we don't know about, because they don't really want to make that public, or it makes it a bit easier to kind of compromise it. But it kind of made me question a little bit, like, how competent is BlockFi really? And they are centralized, and they offer a fairly similar service to like what Aave or Compound would offer. They do give you better rates, and so it's a little bit more appealing to people, but they are centralized, which means it's up to them to keep your funds safe. Whereas if you're using like Aave or Compound, as long as that code is running, or as long as that code does not contain an exploit or some sort of backdoor, you can be very confident that your funds are going to be there when you go back to them. Whereas with BlockFi, it's just kind of like, well, I hope they don't get hacked and lose everybody's money, or I hope that they don't run afoul of a governmental regulation and get a cease and desist and have to close up shop with everybody's funds locked in there. So you do get better rates, but I don't know. Hearing about that kind of made me hesitant on BlockFi, unfortunately. But I know people who've used them and have put their money in, got their money out. it works as intended. I don't think they're in scam or anything like that, but yeah, that thing where they're sending people Bitcoin is like what's going on behind the scenes here that we don't see, because this is what we're seeing, but what else are we not seeing? That's my thought there. Yeah, so yeah, any other questions? Throw them out there. I mean, I could talk about crypto for another hour, but I'm not going to unless we get some good questions. Plus, I'm tired. My power went out today for like 4 hours randomly over in Aurora by the airport, and like I don't know what the hell caused it. It's like only the people on my block, but I like wasn't really able to. And I got a new computer too. You'll notice wasn't using the Brave browser tonight, but had to get all that stuff set up like right before we went live here. That was a fun time. Let's see here. I know there's a little bit of a delay, so I'll give it another minute here, and then we're gonna wrap it up. Wrap it up. All right, y'all. Thanks for coming out. Hang in there. Crypto is not dead, despite what everybody's trying to make you think. And I'm still going to be here doing my thing. Whenever the next rally occurs, and we get a nice new fresh wave of people. And yeah, just stay safe out there. Don't buy into the FUD, and just remember to make sure that you are being safe, using proper cybersecurity, and just doing your own thing. Don't let anybody tell you what to do. Make your own choices, do your own research, verify things that you're interested in, and you'll be just fine. This crypto stuff is a wild game. There's not a lot of recourse for you if things go wrong. So there's a lot with all the responsibility we get. There's a lot of freedom that comes with that, but you got to be responsible first. And there's a learning curve. You got to go through a couple of these up and down cycles before you're comfortable with the ridiculous volatility that occurs in the cryptocurrency space. It's still young. We're still early. There's a very steep learning curve, high barrier to entry, but this stuff is growing, and it's global, and it's offering a real utility and value to people. I mean, the internet needs cash. The internet needs trustlessness and censorship resistance to really perform at its top potential. Cryptocurrency is offering all of those things. I'm very excited about the future of it, and I try not to worry about the price as much as I can. And I've been fortunate enough, I've been in long enough that I don't have to worry about these 50% drawdowns that we see. I'm still doing all right. So just hang in there. Time is a great teacher, and you get a lot less emotional as the more of these you ride out. So yeah, Dan, you're very welcome. You're very welcome, and I appreciate it. And we will see y'all next time. And don't forget to subscribe to the newsletter. We're going to be doing some in-person events here coming up in June. I'm still working on the venue. If you know somebody who has a venue or place to host it in the evenings during the week, please reach out to me. I had a few calls in from some suggestions last week. I need to follow up on those, but yeah, we want to hold some in-person stuff in June, and it'd be great to see everybody actually in person again and have a good time. We'll have yeah, just get together and see what we can see what we want to do. So thanks everybody. See ya.